Hello and welcome to episode number 16 of the Hafey Digital Podcast, a show for creators, makers, and doers, where my goal is to help you make to the max. And today we're going to be talking about my top 10 tips for staying productive and creative during this crazy time of mass isolation. Let's get into it. Welcome to the show, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and follow me on social media on over at Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Hafey, and let's have a conversation. So today we're going to be talking about some ways to kind of, not go crazy during this insanity that we're going through right now with this coronavirus, COVID-19. So I've got 10 tips that I'm going to be going through, and I know a lot of people are doing these types of lists now with everything going on, but I'm hoping that I can go through them and provide a little bit of additional value and a little bit of context and backstory to help you through it. Brendan, what's going on? Brendan Halbum joined the chat. What's up, brother? Good to see you. So we'll get into that in just a minute, but I did have a couple of things that I wanted to mention beforehand. First of all, shaved the beard a little bit, if you couldn't tell. Decided to trim it down. Really out of boredom, I guess, more than anything. And I thought I had seen a headline. Don't quote me on this. This could be entirely false, but there has been an article or a headline somewhere that said beards can kind of hold on to the, or it could be a hygiene issue in regards to this whole coronavirus thing. So having a shorter beard, I didn't want to go fully shaven because I would look like an infant, but I figured I'd leave a little bit on there. Also, got my hair cut. But Ryan, where did you get your hair cut if all non-essential businesses are closed? Well, thank you for asking. Actually, I cut my hair myself. Back when I was had less money to work with, I actually would do that pretty often as a way to just kind of save a few bucks here and there. And I used to cut hair back in college for beer. So I had an idea of how to cut hair, and it's not perfect. But as you can kind of see, I did a little bit of a fade. I think as it grows in the back, the fade will blend in a little bit better. But nice and short, easy to manage. Don't have to worry about it too much. It's exactly what I was going for. So there's that. Also, one thing that I wanted to mention, there was a tip that I came across recently. There was actually another photographer who shoots a lot of fights, had mentioned, he posted something on Facebook about Adobe and how they're offering some free months for anyone who basically asks for them. Now, I guess I had heard this has been their policy all along, and I do the same thing. I've only paid for a haircut 3 times in my life. It saves you so much money. Brendan jumping in with the hair cutting commentary. Yeah, man, that's the way to do it. If I get bored enough, I may just shave it all off. I used to sport well, not completely shaved, but very short buzz for a while. It is nice, and it's a time saver too to not have to go and get a haircut every now and then at the freaking hairstylist, whatever. But yeah, with Adobe, I guess it's always kind of been their policy to, let's say if you wanted to cancel your service, they would kind of ring you back in with 60 days of free service. But I had heard that they were offering 60 days or even 90 days, no questions asked for anyone who asked for it. So, and I actually have 2 different Adobe accounts. I've got one for my side business, Hafey Digital, and then I've got another for just personal stuff. My wife uses it. My kids will use it every now and then. So, because if I remember correctly, you only get 2 licenses per subscription, meaning 2 different devices. So for me, I use on my desktop, and then I also use it on my laptop. So I kind of need the 2 different subscriptions. But I logged in at creative.adobe.com with my credentials, and then just used their online chat feature and said, hey, I understand that you're giving free service or free months, a couple free months for eligible subscribers. I wanted to see if I was eligible. That's the verbiage that I used, and without any questions, they said, yep, here's 60 free days, and I got that for both. So the point is, I know there's a lot of creatives out there who are out of a gig at the moment, just because of everything that's going on. So if that's you, and if you're struggling for cash a little bit, or just trying to save as much as you can at this point, over $100. Let's see, it's about $53 a month. So some people were getting 90 days. I got on both of my accounts. I got 60 days. Not sure who they determine gets between 60 and 90, but hey, saving 100 to $150 over the course of 2 or 3 months, that's better than nothing. So if you haven't tried it already, yeah, hit them up. You can call them. Some people have said that you can go through the cancellation prompts and get it there without having to actually interact with anyone. I didn't try that. Ooh, excuse me. We are but we're drinking the mango bubbly today. It's making me burp like usual. So yeah, give that a shot. Anyway, was there one other thing I wanted to talk about? What else was there? I can't remember. Oh, the other thing I want to talk about. So last episode, I mentioned that the Rodecaster Pro, I think it was the noise gate that was giving me some issues, to where it was just a little bit too intense. There were times when it wouldn't kick in right away, and it would you could hear the volume changing in my voice at certain points. And I had seen a tip, I think it was in a Reddit thread or something somewhere. I apologize, I'm not exactly sure where I saw it, but someone just mentioned change I think it was the strength. Yeah, change voice strength. Let me get this top-down view here. So if you have the Rodecaster Pro and you're finding that the noise gate is a little too intense for you, if you go in here, I'll just start back at the beginning. Press your microphone, go into voice strength, and if you hit soft, that will make the noise gate a little less intense, so you get a little smoother attack and release on there. And I've found so far that it's been working pretty well for me. So that was update number 2. That concludes the updates thus far. So let's get into the topic at hand. And the topic at hand, as mentioned, is just tips and tricks and hacks and ideas and thoughts around staying productive and kind of maintaining that creative edge during this time when we're all basically locked in our homes. And whether or not you're a creative, some of these tips will be helpful for you. But I think, even if you're not, some of the creative specific tips can be helpful also, just for kind of a mental exercise. But anyway, so I got 10 of these. Number 1, we're just going to go down the list here. Number 1, top of my list, the very top, is exercise. And I'll give you a little backstory and context on this. When I was in college, even going back before that, growing up, like when I got into around like a junior year in high school, I lost a lot of weight by not really doing much of anything. I just kind of hit a growth spurt, I guess. I got down to like 165 pounds, and then I from that point I thought I was kind of invincible, and that I didn't have to watch what I eat, I didn't have to exercise, whatever. Went to college, and in college I spent a lot of time drinking, a lot of time not doing much exercising, eating a lot of unhealthy food late at night, etc. And by the time I graduated college, I was probably upwards of between 240 and 250 pounds, and I had no muscle. So I've shown people photos of me during that time, and people don't believe that it's me. I'm actually closer to about 205 now, but I've packed on a little bit of muscle, so I guess I wear it a little bit better. But yeah, I was in real bad shape. If I laid down flat on my stomach and tried to do a push-up off the floor, I couldn't do it. So then I started running. After we moved to Las Vegas, I got to do something. Started feeling like crap and everything. So I started running, and that was kind of like the beginning of my fitness journey. Lost a lot of weight doing that. Then I plateaued. Then I started getting into like kettlebells, and then from there into strength training. And long story short, exercise has been a part of my life from that time on. Whether it's been running or strength training, I've been trying to do something to keep myself, in shape. And I am glad. Like I feel guilty if I miss a workout these days, and actually totally okay with that. People are like, oh, you shouldn't have to feel guilty. Like, no, I don't care. Like, for me, working out is a discipline, and if I don't do it, I feel like um, what's the word? Like, I feel like I've, I've, I've let myself down, basically. So, hey, Boxing Socialist on there. What's going on, man? How are you? Um, so yeah, exercise. I mean, just for confidence, just for kind of the mental clarity, just and especially right now, everyone who has underlying health conditions are more at risk to this whole coronavirus thing. So there's literally no better time than now to make an investment into your health. Actually, if you follow me on Instagram, I've been doing a daily workout. I've been calling them doomsday workouts. And I have I have a home gym here. You can see my squat rack back there. So I understand that not everyone has a squat rack that they can use and dumbbells and things like that. But I did include alternatives to the workouts that I did. So basically, the workouts that I do are three strength training exercises. So it might be like squats, pull up, ab wheel, something like that. And I'll do each of those in a row and then repeat that 4 times total. And then I'll include some alternatives. So if you're looking for a workout, go check me on Instagram. I have a highlight saved. It's just the arm emoji with the face mask emoji. Go check it out. But anyway, yeah, exercise. I promise you, like for those who don't exercise a whole lot, I promise you, it's tough in the beginning. But once you get into it, you begin to enjoy it. You begin to crave the feeling that you get after you finish working out. And it'll change your life. It'll change the way you look. It'll change your outlook on things. It'll change your level of like motivation. And they say, oh, you got to take care of yourself before you can take care of others, and that type of thing. It's true. Like it's cliche, but it's true. So exercise, good brother, listening and enjoying. Thank you, appreciate it. So that's number 1. Number 2, journaling. Just writing down in a journal. When I was younger, I used to kind of poo-poo that idea, like I'm journaling. Come on, well, I'm not keeping a diary. But now that I'm older, I don't really care what people think about it. If you've journaled before, I think you'll understand what I'm talking about as far as how this can be helpful. But if you haven't, just take out your phone, take out one of the. I mean, look at this. I've got just in my drawer here. I've got 3 notebooks and a empty small rig bag. But everybody's got a notebook laying around somewhere. Grab a notebook. There's that bubbly again. Grab a notebook. Start writing stuff down. You don't have to have a specific format. You don't have to write anything in particular. Just write what comes out of your mind, especially at a time like now where, we're all sitting at home. And that is a lot of time to just kind of self-reflect. I think we're all kind of doing that. We're all sort of exploring our own minds a little bit more now. And being able to take those thoughts and then get them out on paper is incredibly therapeutic. I find that when I journal, a lot of the, if I'm having issues that I've been kind of like contemplating and thinking about throughout the day, if I write them out, I often find that by the time I've finished writing about them, I'm no longer as concerned, or I'll find a solution to the problem, or I will realize that whatever the problem is really isn't that big of a deal, and I can kind of move on from it. A lot of people will say that journaling helps them sleep because you're just literally getting all of your thoughts out and on paper. It's like you're just kind of taking all your thoughts and throwing them away so that they can't run rampant in your mind before you go to bed. So I suggest that. I journal, but on Evernote. Evernote's great, man. Hey, however you do it, I'm doing it in a notebook now. I journal in this thing here, but I think once this is done, I'm just gonna use like notes on Apple because it's easier for me to kind of type things out than it is to sit down and write things down. Or at least I'll try it for a little bit and see how it goes. But yeah, man, however you do it because it helps. It helps me, and it's helped a lot of people. So give it a try. Tip number 3. Take care of some overdue home improvements, overdue cleanings, and things like that you have around your house. We all put these things off. We've got, weeds we've got to pull in the yard. My shower in our master bathroom has needed some new caulking for a while. Um, I haven't got around to that yet. But you get the idea. I went out the other day and I was spraying down our air conditioning units. Just little odds and ends here and there. It helps to get those things done. It helps to get them off of your mind. We all have a lot of stress and things to worry about. If it's something that's going to take a little bit longer, pop some headphones or some, AirPods, whatever in, listen to music, get it done. Even that in and of itself can be kind of meditative. You're just, doing this sort of task that doesn't require a whole lot of skill or a whole lot of brain power. So you can just kind of do it, and it's like a form of meditation, and you're getting something done that's just sort of been weighing on you potentially for a long time. So look around, see what you can do around your house, get those things done. Tip number 4, work on your craft. What's your craft? My craft is making videos. My craft is photography. My craft is like social media marketing, digital marketing. My craft is what I'm doing here, live streaming, all that type of stuff. Oh, heck no. My wife thinks every day is spring cleaning. That's good, man. Hey, you got someone that can do it for you. I guess you can tick that one off your list. Oh, man. But yeah, now's a perfect time. Like, obviously, there are some limitations to that. If you are I don't know, if you're a wild game hunter, it might be difficult for you to work on your craft. I know all the casinos are closed here in Nevada, so if you're a professional gambler, unless you can do it online, it might be a little bit more difficult for you to do that also. But, for me, for example, I've been taking my camera. Actually, hold on. Is it going to reach? Yes. I've been taking this thing around and just parking it in different places in the house. Got my Rode mic on there. I think I showed it last week. Little Shinobi monitor camera there. And I'll just, I'll frame some stuff up. I posted a couple clips that I put out or that I made on Instagram. And I'm just using it as an excuse to kind of practice my framing, practice audio, practice color grading, sound design, just doing a variety of different things. So I'm trying to learn more of that and kind of perfect that a little bit, because especially on the video side, I've gotten away from video quite a bit and haven't done as much with it as I wanted to. A lot of it because I've been more focused on this live streaming stuff in kind of the studio, which is fine. I like to kind of skip around, but video is one thing that I felt like I got pretty good at, and then was starting to lose some of those skills as I went along because I wasn't putting in the time with it. So now's the perfect time to do it. Boxing Socialist, yes, I need to brush up on Photoshop. Thumbnails are everything. Yes, they are. These days, thumbnails and titles. Get on that. Let's see what we got next. So number 4 was work on your craft. Number 5, work on your business. If you have a side business, let's say if you're in the creative field and right now you're not seeing a whole lot of clients and that's kind of getting you down. Well, now would be, think about it this way. Once all of this blows over, and who knows how long that will be, but once it all blows over and the economy is ready to ramp back up and businesses start hiring people back, people are going to need content. I'm talking specifically right now to the creatives and kind of those who tailor maybe to small and large businesses. But like for myself, I do video and photography for small businesses. I had a gig recently that was cut short. I'm assuming because of all of this. They didn't say it specifically, but I imagine that's what it was. And it's been a little slow. So what can I do? Well, I could go out and actively hunt for some new work. That's going to be that's going to be pretty hard to find, and I don't know that right now that's going to be the best use of my time. So what I could do instead, and one of the things that I literally need to do, is I could work on my website. Right now I've just got a one-page website that doesn't even show any of my work. It's literally just got a picture of me and like social media links right now. So it's not an impressive website, but I have it. It's there. That's one of the things that I could be working on during this time, is sprucing that up. I could be putting together email templates for certain things. I could work on my pricing. I could, there's a whole bunch of different things I could do. I could work on my social media channels, I could kind of rebrand a little bit and create maybe new header images or cover images or thumbnail, profile pictures, all that type of stuff. Little things here and there. Grab a notebook that you're not using for journaling. Make a list of stuff that you think that you need to work on and touch up, and touch it up. Walking Socialist, I want a YouTube podcast, but don't know how to approach celebrities. Afraid to ask sometimes. Hey man, use the Gary V approach and just hit up as many DMs as you can, and eventually you might get someone to answer. Interviewing celebrities, that is, yeah, man, hit them up. Just jump into it. See, eventually you'll get someone to bite. So yeah, work on your business. Next, tip number 6: connect with friends. I don't mean that physically. It's called social distancing right now. Can't get within 6 feet of anybody, or at least you shouldn't for your own safety and protection. But, just today was actually my son's birthday. He turns 9, and we got my wife's family and my parents, everybody on FaceTime or Google Duo across like 3 devices, and they all chimed in as we sang happy birthday. I've seen tons of people on Instagram going live and just kind of interacting with friends and fans. People, I guess, are using Zoom quite a bit to just have multi-people video calls and things like that. So there's still ways that we can connect and chat and be with one another and support each other without being physically close to one another. Obviously, the latter is the best option if you can have it, but it doesn't mean that we can't do it. And now's a great time to maybe reach out to someone who I haven't talked to in a while as well, just to make sure that they're doing okay. So yeah, connect with friends, connect with family, just get in touch with people. Thank you. Happy birthday to Bryce. Thank you. Tip number 7, document and create content. So going back to what I was saying earlier with my camera setup here, I've been basically, my focus with creating content right now is just sort of documenting the everyday life of a family dealing with this this crisis we're going through. So, for example, just little things. I brought the tripod up to my 14-year-old daughter's room when she was like kind of sleeping but sort of waking up, and just filmed her for a few seconds, like laying in bed, like real life stuff. And then, me playing with my dog in the living room, and then me and the family eating dinner, me in the backyard with the dogs, my other daughter skating around on her rollerblades, like just little things. Not only am I going to have this stuff to refer back to, but this is the stuff that I'm using to practice with all my framing and all my video and color correction and all that kind of stuff. But it's giving me content. If I want to put together little videos and push them out on social media, I can do that. And I have done that a couple times already. This morning, for example, I filmed a clip the other day of me just sitting on the couch in the living room in a couple different spots on the couch. And today I made a video, or just a little 15-second clip for Instagram of me. I masked basically compiled all 3 of those clips together, so it looks like there's 3 of me in the scene just sort of sitting there on my phone. And, it took me maybe 20 minutes, and it's just a piece of content that I can push out, and it's practice. So, yeah, document, create content. Instagram stories are great for this right now. I've seen so many people upping their game when it comes to Instagram stories and just pushing out so much. I know I'm doing a lot more on Instagram. So all these tools are there for you. They're ways to kind of put yourself out, ways to connect with people. And again, if you're creative, it's a way to practice, with creating your content. Come up with your own kind of little content campaign. Again, I did my sort of doomsday workouts. That's one example if you want to help people. Right now, people are looking for resources. They're looking for help and advice and tips and information. Find ways to get that information out. There's a lot of challenges and things like that, which actually we'll get to in a minute, but, come up with your own challenge. See if you can get people involved with that. All sorts of stuff you can do. So document. What do you do when you hit a creative slump? That's a good one. So it kind of depends. I find that the best way for me to get out of a creative slump is two things. One is just powering through it, and just if you have a project that you're struggling with, sometimes just sitting down and forcing yourself to work on it, even if it's at a slower pace, helps. I like to go on walks, or I like the room that we're in here, because if I get a little frustrated with the project, or I can't think of an idea, I can literally get up and I've got a heavy bag over there I can hit, or I can do a couple pull-ups and just sort of let my mind escape from whatever it is I'm working on. And oftentimes that will sort of allow something to just kind of enter the brain and click. Other things I will do is work on just something completely different and outside of what I normally do. For example, this thing up here, it's just a canvas with 168 little army men on it in different sections on there. I just had kind of this concept for an art piece that I wanted to do. It's not the prettiest art piece in the world, but I thought it was kind of cool, good idea, and I did it. And then when I finished it, I felt like super inspired to just do other stuff. So if you're in a slump, try something different. That's all I can say. Let's see. Document, create. Tip number 8: play games. If you're lucky enough to be in isolation with friends or family, get out some of those old board games that you've had laying around for a while. There's one of my favorite things to do if I'm just sitting around bored is play a Call of Duty on mobile. Just go in and play team deathmatch with a few other people. There's all sorts of collaborative games online. My kids, all 3 of them, play Roblox together, and together and online with other people. So yeah, play games, interact with people. You're still having kind of that social interaction in an interesting kind of weird way in doing that, but play games. It's fun. It kind of gets your brain going versus just sort of sitting there mindlessly scrolling on Reddit or whatever it is that you do. Got you. Sometimes walk away, clear your mind. Definitely. That's one of my, and I miss it because I can't really do it right now. It's just going for long walks. That's one of my favorite things to do, to just kind of process. It's almost like sleep. You just sort of let it gives you time to kind of process what's going on in your brain. Tip number 9, do challenges. As I mentioned, there's a lot of challenges going on right now. Just today, I got nominated for 2 Instagram challenges. It's like the push-up challenges, where someone challenges you to do 10, or in my case, it was someone challenged 10 and the other challenged 20 push-ups. And then you do your push-ups and you film it, and then you challenge other people to do it. There's all sorts of meme challenges online, like the flip the switch challenge, and it's not really a challenge, I guess, but there's a lot of them out there. Just if you're floating around online, or in creative, your kids like to cheat. That's funny. If you're a creative, look for like one of the things I like to do is recreations. I've done a couple of videos where I'll recreate someone like a cool effect that someone's posted on Instagram, or a cool effect in a video I've seen. Create your own challenges. You know what I mean? Let's see. Number 10, learn something new. That's probably a big one to end on. I think for me personally, audio and After Effects are kind of my 2. I'm limited in those areas. Audio, I do okay. I actually, as I've mentioned before, my dad was he produced radio broadcasts for a good chunk of his life. And when I was in college, I actually created a couple audio, sort of like comedy rap songs with a friend of mine, which I'm not going to be playing here, and hopefully they're buried somewhere on the internet where no one can find them, because I was actually kind of proud of them, but at this point in my life, I'm like, yeah, I'm good to let those rest. But anyway, so I have some understanding of audio, but I don't think I have the ear for it yet. I don't think that if you gave me some audio work with this, said, here, bring this into Adobe Audition and make it sound perfect. Like it could be a voiceover or whatever. I don't know that I would be at that level quite yet. Audio is just kind of a world that I haven't dived into a whole lot. And then After Effects is just a beast. I mean, I guess I could probably spruce up in Photoshop a little bit as well, but After Effects, I know some simple animations, like you've seen my intro at the beginning here, that was done in After Effects, so I could take things and move them around. Did a tutorial where I did some kind of 3D tracking and things like that, and that was, semi-complex, but then there's the whole coding side of things, and like, really getting 3D and doing like really cool, crazy stuff in 3D, and there's a lot of stuff that I could be doing better. So that might be something that I try to focus on a little bit more, depending on how long this whole thing goes. Ryan the Rapper, man, let me tell you something. You're laughing, but I could spit some bars. Not gonna lie. I'm not gonna do it right now, but I could spit some bars. So yeah, learn something new. Skillshare, Udemy, just YouTube. Like if you got a few bucks to spare, go on Udemy or Skillshare. I've bought some courses on those websites before and have been very happy with the results I got out of them. A lot of them were super cheap, like less than $20, and you get, like a 5, 6, 7 hour course that goes in depth into whatever subject it is you're looking for. And then of course, YouTube, you can find anything on YouTube. So if there's something you've been wanting to learn for a long time, just like, I'm never going to have time for it. Well, guess what? You got time for it now. So just freaking do it. Anyway, those are my 10 tips. Just to recap: exercise, start journaling, take care of some overdue home improvements and cleaning, work on your craft, work on your business, connect with friends, document and create content, play games, do challenges, and learn something new. And I hope throughout that I have provided some additional value to you. I have like 8 lessons on Udemy, only finished 1, skip to the chapter I need. Man, don't do that though. Don't get into the habit of skipping chapters, because I'm telling you, there's going to be some stuff in between. You're going to find some value in that, whether you think so or not. Try to treat it like a college course where you got to sit through the whole thing, because you'll learn more than you think. You'll learn more than you anticipated, but that's always a good thing. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Let's all just keep this going. And everybody stay safe. Everybody stay healthy. The other day, I was leaving a store, and I told someone to stay stealthy, because I combined safe and healthy together, and that's what I came out with. So everybody out there, stay stealthy. And until the next one, we will see you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And bye-bye.